Do you want a Blink commander but Brago is too mainstream? How about a Spirit Tribal commander that doesn't cost 7? Or maybe you're just really into the FORETELL mechanic. If any of these sound like you, then Ranar the Ever-Watchful might be the commander for you. Ranar the Ever-Watchful reads 2 white-blue for a 2/3 legendary creature Spirit Warrior with flying and vigilance. The first card you foretell each turn costs 0 to foretell. Whenever you exile one or more cards from your hand and or permanents from the battlefield, create a 1/1 white flying spirit creature token. One of the key defining features of Ranar is the ability to pay 0 for foretell cards. With that in mind, we're going to run foretell cards, but only the best ones we can get our hands on, such as Alrund's Epiphany, which is a 7-drop sorcery that makes 2 birds and also lets us take an extra turn after this one, exile Alrund's Epiphany. Tales of the Ancestors is a 4-drop sorcery. Each player with fewer cards in hand than the player with the most cards in hand draws cards equal to the distance. And Doomskar, a 5-drop sorcery that just destroys all creatures. Then, we want to get our cards with foretell back, since we're not running many, and it's one of the key focuses of the deck. We achieve this by running creatures like Archaeomancer, a 4-drop 1/2 creature type human wizard. When it enters the battlefield, return target instant or sorcery card from your graveyard to your hand. We also have Mnemonic Wall, which is a creature type, surprise surprise, wall, 0/4 defender. When it enters the battlefield, you may return target instant or sorcery card from your graveyard to your hand. And Scholar of the Ages, a 7-drop 3/3 creature type human wizard, which, surprise surprise, when it enters the battlefield, returns an instant or sorcery from our graveyard to our hand. Oh, what's that? This one gets us 2 target instant or sorcery cards. Then, to get them back multiple times, we run flicker effects to exile our creatures and bring them back to the battlefield, triggering their enters the battlefield abilities again. We achieve this by running cards like Soul Herder, a 3-drop 1/1 spirit. Whenever a creature is exiled from the battlefield, put a +1/+1 counter on Soul Herder, and at the beginning of your end step, you may exile another target creature you control, then return that card to the battlefield under its owner's control. We also run Flicker Wisp, which is a 3-drop 3/1 terrifying nightmare-fueled art card with flying. When it enters the battlefield, exile another target permanent, return that card to the battlefield under its owner's control at the beginning of the next end step. We also run a suite of instants and sorceries that allow us to flicker our creatures, such as Ghostly Flicker, which is a 3-drop instant, exile 2 artifacts, creatures, and or lands you control, then return those cards to the battlefield under your control. The best thing about Ghostly Flicker is we can use it to target 2 creatures, one to trigger an enters the battlefield ability, and the other one to get Ghostly Flicker back. This is also a great way to foretell cards back over and over again if we have 2 creatures that return an instant to our hand when they enter the battlefield. And since we're already running flicker effects, we should probably run some creatures with powerful ETB abilities. Great examples are Ethereal Valkyrie, a 6-drop 4/4 spirit angel with flying. Whenever Ethereal Valkyrie enters the battlefield or attacks, draw a card, then exile it from your hand face down. It becomes foretold. Its foretell cost is equal to its mana cost reduced by 2. 7-drop 3/3. That's right, it's Meteor Golem. When Meteor Golem enters the battlefield, destroy target non-land permanent in opponent control. And Sun Titan, a 6-drop 6/6 giant with vigilance that says whenever Sun Titan enters the battlefield or attacks, you may return target permanent card with converted mana cost 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. Finally, with all these flicker effects and foretell cards, we will quickly amass an army of spirits off of Ranar's ability. So to leverage that army, we're going to run effects that will power them up. Cards like Drogskull Captain, a 3-drop 2/2 spirit soldier with flying. Other spirit creatures you control have +1/+1 and hexproof. Thunderclap Wyvern is a 4-drop 2/3 Drake with flash and flying. Other creatures you control with flying get +1/+1. And Rally the Ranks is a 2-drop enchantment. When it enters the battlefield, choose a creature type, aka spirit. Creatures you control of the chosen type will get +1/+1. With all these, our boards will be a massive threats ready to swing in the air directly at our opponent's faces. And that's the deck. If you made it this far, thank you so much for watching until the end. If you like this video, please leave a like below, and if you want to be up to date on new deck techs, make sure to subscribe. Thank you all so much for being here, and have a wonderful day.